Today I'm at the cinema to see the horror sequel Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is directed by Emma Tammi, Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Lail, Piper Rubio, Freddy Carter and McKenna Grace. Let's give you the plot. 1 year after the first film's events, Abby sneaks out to a new Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria to reconnect with the animatronics she views as friends, inadvertently unleashing new animatronic threats and a long-forgotten horror. This forces Mike and Vanessa to uncover dark secrets about the origins of Freddys and battle a new powerful antagonist, the Marionette, as horror extends beyond the restaurant's walls. So apart from being a sequel to the first film, which came out in 2023 and was a massive horror hit, I mean, this was worldwide. This made about the first one made about $300 million on like a 20 million budget. I mean, for a studio, that's a hell of a profit. But aside from that, everybody knows this as started out as a game series. It started out in 2014 and it's been very, very, very popular. I mean, even I know what it is. I have nothing to do with, I've never seen I haven't seen the first film, I haven't played any of the games. In fact, what I did is I had a quick look at a YouTube, like a walkthrough video of the first game. And it had some like cool jump scares, but that gimmick wore off very, very quickly from just watching it. So it was kind of boring after that for me, but I'm clearly in the minority because I know a lot of people love that game, love all the games and love this franchise, hence why we're on a second movie. As far as how many games they put out at least 12 games, and there's probably a whole load more if you include all the spin-off ones and other related content. Excitement level, super, super, super low. I am not excited about this movie in any way, shape or form. I'm only seeing this because my mate Rich, who you might have seen on a couple of the other videos, just asked me along because he's excited about seeing this. And I thought I'd come along and review it for the channel. Okay, so just before I actually head in and watch, as they call FNAF 2, Five Nights at Freddy's, I remember when my mate Rich just texted me like, do you want to see FNAF 2? I was like, what's that? It took me a second. But anyway, what we have here is some of the merchandise from the movie. So you've got here the Five Nights at Freddy's Cup. You probably know what these characters' names are. I just recognize the faces. But, you know, as far as a cup, that does actually look pretty good. They seem to do this quite a lot, Odeon. They have the character on the top, and yeah, that's not a bad one. I have got a Tron one, which was gifted to me by my mate Rich. So if you're watching, thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. That's awesome. But here's another one with the blue character on. What other character? I can see why some people think these characters are quite nightmare fuel inducing. Yeah. So here's another one. I mean, look at that face. That's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. And the last one to show you on here is Let's Party. So that's all the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff they've got here. So just about to go in and watch the film. This is going to be the first film I actually watch in the month of December. And look, I've got my Christmas jumper on. This is Gremlins on there. So yeah, you know, up for a fun time. Let's see what the movie's like. Do press like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. And I'll catch you with my thoughts afterwards. Okay, so the film is just finished. So I'm going to go over the highlights and then the hang-up, starting with the highlights. There isn't many highlights. I'm just going to lay that right out there. The acting in the film was solid. I enjoyed the cast that was in it. There was the guy from, I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy from the Hunger Games. He was in this, so it was nice to see his face. Also, people like McKenna Grace and Wayne Knight. It was good to see him in the film, even though they had like a more of a minor role. The three cast members of the man and the woman and the small girl, who I presume were carried over from the first one. Yeah, they all played decent parts in the film. I thought they played it quite well. And also I thought the production design on the whole movie was pretty good. I thought the robots and all that lot looked great. But that's pretty much all I can think of as far as positives. On to the negatives. This movie I really did not enjoy. The story was just really hard to follow, quite nonsensical. I know it doesn't help that I hadn't watched the first one, but I feel like even if I had watched the first one, I still would have come away going, okay, that's silly, that's dumb, why are they doing that? And also just the very idea of these robots going around. I mean, so many times it was so laughably bad the way they could sort of sneak up on people when they're so noisy, heavy, clunky, and slow. So it was any wonder that they managed to get their hands on anybody. I'm aware that this all sort of spawns from the fact that someone, I guess, you know, maybe the writer maybe worked or attended as a child at a Chuck E. Cheese, which is an American restaurant chain where they have arcade video games, They have a little show by some animatronic characters, a little bit like what they are in the film, but just nowhere near as scary. And then they have like some pizza and stuff like that. And I know it's supposed to tap into that thing of like, you know, what you might have seen as a child was like something you go, oh, isn't that quite sweet? But now you look back on it and it's quite nightmare inducing. But I know they've kind of started with that and then they've gone on their own direction with the story. But for me, it didn't tap into any of those themes, any of those sort of things. Maybe the first one did, I doubt it. This movie is very much like a whole load of those other horror films you ever saw, where they're just there to do really, really cheap jump scares. This film was getting on my nerves, the amount of jump scares it actually did. That's not my only hang-up, but it's honestly, I rolled my eyes watching this film because it's just so bad. Clearly this film is not aimed at me. When I was in the cinema, there was definitely a certain demographic watching this, mainly teenagers. I feel it probably plays best to that crowd. You know, people who played the game are going to get much more out of this. You're going to see things that are in the game realised on screen, and I get that. But for me, who's a very casual person going and watching this, there just wasn't anything there for me. The film was about 1 hour and 45 minutes, and it just felt way too long. The film started off okay. I actually thought the best part of the entire film was the opening, the way it went back to 1982, when this was like a running business at a pizza parlour, and then you see a death occur. That was quite interesting, and then it had like an opening title with music, and I quite enjoyed all that. Then when the main, for lack of a better word, plot kicked in, it really took its time. It went way too slow, where it was just hardly anything actually happening. There was a lot of plot contrivances in it. Take, for example, one where the woman's trying to escape, and the robotic monster is trying to, kill her while she's in her car, and to get it off her car, she crashes into a house, and the robot comes flying off the roof, and it lands and takes out another robot who happened to be attacking someone else. And from me watching the film, I don't think that was intentional. I don't think, oh, here we go, I'll take out 2 robots. I feel like she just got rid of that robot and, oh look, I just happened to get rid of another one as well. Final rating. As it's no surprise, I didn't enjoy this film, but I didn't expect it to not like it this much. I mean, the whole film, as it really started to slow down towards maybe the quarter of the way through the film. Another big problem is there's no central character in this. It kind of just sort of flips-flops between different people, and that was a huge problem for me. They did a couple of jump scares. The first few might have been somewhat effective, and then after that it just kept repeating the same formula to the point where I got very, very bored. It doesn't help that I didn't understand what was going on, but I feel like had I watched the first one, this still really was not a movie for me. I know I wouldn't have enjoyed it at all, because I just can't get past the fact of these really stupid, silly robots. Sorry if anyone who does like this franchise, but just giving you my honest opinion on it. I'm going to give Five Nights at Freddy's 2 just the 1 star, and that 1 star is just because the acting was good and it didn't stink up the screen. Did you enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's? I'm sure a lot of you did. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Please don't try to attack my opinion on the film, but let me know what you thought of the film. If you made it to the end of the video, do press like and subscribe. And if you'd like to check out my other videos on my channel, you could do so. I've got things like movie reviews, movie locations, movie attractions, and lots more. I want to thank you again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.